I'm assuming many of you probably have already heard some of this news at least. I mean, even if you've just heard some of the older news where they were talking about maybe banning TikTok in the United States, but it seems pretty official now. Donald Trump came out last night and said that he plans to use executive orders to basically shut down operations of TikTok in the United States. So it looks like there really isn't that much time left for the application, which has become one of the fastest downloaded apps in history. It's been insane how fast TikTok has been able to grow. And not only just here in the United States, obviously it's Chinese owned and operated, but it's become a global phenomenon at this point. So many people use it, and it's insane. It's basically become one of the fastest growing social medias of all time. It's up there with like Facebook. And I think this is probably one of the first times that we've ever seen anything like this, really, where we've ever seen the United States seriously consider banning something this big, I guess. Because here in the United States, like, we've never considered a Facebook ban, we've never considered a Twitter ban, or a YouTube ban, or an Instagram ban. That never has happened. So seeing TikTok be, I guess, in the scope at this point has been pretty odd, because it's just not something that we're very familiar with. Now, obviously, this all kind of follows how India banned TikTok and dozens of other Chinese applications for national security fears. There's whispering going around that Australia might follow up with a TikTok ban as well, and several countries at this point have basically been eyeing the Chinese for national security concerns, even going as far as here in the United States banning companies like Huawei from having any ability to compete in the 5G market and their abilities to secure government contracts. So this is definitely a very unprecedented moment here in the United States, and obviously a lot of people are very upset. I mean, people have built all kinds of crazy careers in the short time that TikTok has risen to prominence. The Amello sisters, that's pretty much all I really know, but there's been a lot of them that have come out and basically become millionaires, I guess overnight, and just kind of built these careers where they have tens of millions of followers simply for their ability to dance behind a song or something like that, right? It's not like TikTok is an insanely hard platform to understand. I mean, people get on there, they do a dance, or they say something funny for about 30 seconds or whatever, and that's how the whole application basically works. It kind of filled the void, I guess, that Vine left behind, you know. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people know what Vine was, or at least remember it. But it kind of filled that void because, you know, it's very quick, easy to digest content that is right there on your phone that you can just pick up and put down pretty much at any time, which kind of separates it from, you know, your Facebooks or your YouTubes. But if it does get banned, this is going to be insane. Now, obviously, there has been a lot of backlash to Donald Trump saying that he wants to ban this application. But there's also been a lot of support for it. It seems pretty divided. Now, people who are in support of TikTok being banned say that it is an obvious national security flaw, which I agree with, and that they don't feel comfortable with a Chinese company potentially giving data of American citizens to the Chinese federal government. A lot of people also simply want TikTok banned because they feel that it has negative effects on the youth. A lot of people say that, you know, kids are spending too much time on their phones, watching applications like TikTok. People spend too much time doing that, which both of those arguments, while I agree with them, you also can make that argument with pretty much anything that we do. You know, why wouldn't we ban video games? Because people spend too much time on those. Those companies can gather data about you. How come we don't ban Facebook? That company has been proven to gather ridiculous amounts of data on people, even going as far as to basically scrape their phone for whatever that they can get out of it, okay? You know, and people spend too much time on other social medias. You know, your grandma might spend 9 hours a day on Facebook. And then, of course, there's a lot of detractors saying that, of course, it could actually even have economic impact because, like I said, a lot of people have made a living out of TikTok. And if they end up jobless, you know, that's a lot less money circulating in the economy. And of course, there's a lot of concern that it could be used to violate things like the First Amendment. I mean, if Donald Trump has the power to sign an executive order and shut down an entire social media platform's operations in the United States, I mean, what's to say something worse couldn't happen? You know, if something crazy happened, what if he bans Facebook so people can't communicate over that? What if he bans Twitter? These are things that actually do happen in other countries. I remember there was actually like a little bit of controversy here in the United States because Russia was basically testing a kill switch that would have the ability to basically shut down all of the internet in their country at any time that the government wanted to. And then, of course, during historical events like the Arab Spring during the late 2000s and early 2010s, social media was like a huge prop, I guess, for these people to communicate protests and anti-government events, and the internet was basically directly attacked by the government of these countries to try and silence them. So, I mean, America has this reputation that it kind of has given itself as a country with all of these freedoms, land of the free, home of the brave, but how free can you be as a country if you can do something like this and just ban an entire social media? Now, I see arguments on both sides of this, and honestly, I do agree that it is a national security concern because, I mean, the Chinese government, they will be doing whatever they want and whatever they can to try and get data out of America. But I mean, let's not pretend like this is something that isn't happening on the US side too. You think the United States isn't trying to meddle in Chinese data? You think that American companies aren't scalping your data? I think that this realistically should open up a wider conversation about data privacy rights and things like that. I believe that your data should be your right to protect, right? That should be considered your property. Why should Facebook have the right to find out anything and everything about you so that they can barrage you with advertisements or mess it up like the Cambridge Analytica scandal and politically sway your beliefs? Why should Google be allowed to save every single thing that you search to use against you in some way? Whether it be promote search results they think you'll like, or even maybe sell it to the highest bidder for advertising rights. I don't think that that's morally correct. I think that people should be allowed to own the data that they produce. But TikTok's ban might not actually even happen in the first place. You heard that correctly. Because the company that owns TikTok, Chinese company ByteDance, has actually agreed to give over TikTok's operations in the United States. So ByteDance and Microsoft are apparently very close to agreeing completely on a deal that would actually sell US operations of TikTok to Microsoft to allow them to basically create a spin-off of the application. Now this is a bit of a confusing moment because obviously Donald Trump says that he wants to ban TikTok's operations in the United States, citing the national security concerns. But then of course, if Microsoft were to step in, which is an American company, would that hypothetically change Donald Trump's mind on banning the application since now an American company owns their operations? Well, that's not so, I guess, crystal clear. Donald Trump says basically that he opposes any American company buying the operations of the application, and that he wants it just outright banned for the securest operation possible, okay? Now, Microsoft is taking this deal very seriously, and trust me, when I say that Microsoft isn't just buying this because, we want to save TikTok, Microsoft really kinda could use TikTok in a lot of ways. First and foremost, buying an application like TikTok would immediately put Microsoft on the playing stages of social media. When you think of all the big companies out there, right? You got Twitter, obviously. Facebook, they own Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Then you have Google, which owns YouTube. So a lot of these other companies that Microsoft is competing with at this point, they own social media, okay? They have a social media presence. But Microsoft really doesn't have that. I mean, what does Microsoft honestly, maybe Skype? I think they own Skype. Who cares about Skype? Let's be honest. But Microsoft might be really interested in buying TikTok for more than just the social media aspect. As a matter of fact, when you look at ad platforms, Microsoft is currently the number 4 digital ad company in the United States. They're being beat by Google, Facebook, and Amazon. Owning something like TikTok, which has the ability to press ads out to a crazy amount of people in the United States, would immediately help bolster Microsoft's ad platform as well. And while Google and Facebook have basically been under this intense scrutiny by the government for antitrust and whatnot, Microsoft is basically currently out of that kind of talk right now, so they hypothetically could swoop in and get this, I guess, confirmed. They could get this deal signed or whatever, and that could be huge for them. Because you see companies like Amazon, I mean, Amazon's scaling out their ad services, they're scaling out, of course, Amazon as a product, they're doing all kinds of things, and Microsoft, they're trying to keep up in any way that they can, and when it comes down to it, buying TikTok is actually a good idea to do so. Even then, Trump still seems pretty opposed to Microsoft buying the operations. Now, when it comes down to it, yeah, he probably could sign an executive order and force TikTok basically to shut down in the United States, but there would definitely be some definite legal concerns about that, and people would challenge it in court. It would happen. There's no way that ByteDance or TikTok, whoever would own it at that point, would step up and just allow this to happen. That's just not going to happen. Whoever has control is going to try and challenge the decision in court, and at that point, who knows if it's actually going to stand? I don't know. I think it could go either way. If this went to court, I mean, I can very easily see a US court either upholding the ban or just not agreeing with what Trump's doing and deciding to shut that down. So right now, it's a pretty confusing mess, but it does honestly look like Microsoft is going to reach a deal and agree to buy the US operations. it's still unclear whether or not Donald Trump is going to actually shut down TikTok. Apparently, an executive order to shut down operations in the United States could come as early as today or over the next few days and weeks. So we'll have to kind of just sit back, wait and see what's going on with this. Of course, I'll update you guys with whatever happens by making another video talking about it. But with all that being said right now, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus, make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members, your support helps my channel tremendously, and until my next video guys, this is Optimus, well, watching TikTok basically either get banned or bought, and signing out.